With an unplanned moment taking place at Summerslam and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Touching on the backstage problems in WWE that came from the MMA rules bout between Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey, Dave Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer Radio, there were issues between WWE Creative and them as far as how it was going to go, and you don't have knockdowns in an MMA fight and do 10 counts or whatever, but it's like you have some people stuck in one mindset about combat and others who think a different way, but you know. Speaking of Ronda Rousey, her WWE status was also mentioned on Wrestling Observer Radio. It may be the end, period. So the whole deal was that Ronda, this looked to be, it's my last match, and Shayna is the one who got me into this, so if I have to go out, then I'm losing by submission, because nobody was allowed to beat Ronda by submission. That was the key. So she did it with her best friend, and I mean, in theory, it's great for Shayna if they follow up on it, so we'll see. With her at the Summerslam press conference, Dakota Kai was asked if she will be back in action. As she noted, I just had to be here for Io Sky tonight. I'm still a ways away from being in ring cleared, but I had to be here tonight. It was a crazy accomplishment for her as representing Damage Control. 2024 is going to be crazy. I'm squatting heavy, alright? Taking to social media, AJ Lee would acknowledge that her time with Women of Wrestling has come to an end, as she wrote, as my season-long contract with WoW Superheroes winds down, I want to thank the ladies for welcoming me into their locker room, our hair and makeup talk sessions, and constantly inspiring me with their hard work, talent, and genuine camaraderie. I'll try to come back and play sometime in the future. I hope all you fans keep watching next season to support these incredible athletes and stars of tomorrow. Giving a health update on AEW star Pac, Ringside News wrote that during Wrestling Observer Radio, Brian Alvarez revealed that Pac is out of action with an injury, but it is still unknown what his issue is. That being said, it is likely that Pac will be on the injured list for a long time to come. It was noted how this injury is unfortunate for Pac, especially after his return to AEW was seemingly gaining more momentum. It was also not noted when he suffered this injury. At the SummerSlam post-show press conference, LA Knight, coming off his victory in the Slim Jim Battle Royal, said this about people wanting WWE to strap a rocket to him. You could look at it that way. I definitely look at it in the grand scheme of things. But if you are also looking at the fact that LA Knight only appeared on the SmackDown roster in October, so in a weird way, this has been an amazingly fast climb. And it has all been really crazy how it has happened. Kind of unexpected, but at the same time, in a strange way. I've said this before and I will say it again. I always knew that I had something to give. Did I know that it was going to this level this quickly? Not necessarily, but damn, here we are. For me, everybody is talking about, oh, he needs the rocket strapped to him. Look, I'll strap my rocket to myself, and that is exactly what I've done. So here we are, Slim Jim Battle Royal, 25 other guys getting tossed over, and I get to raise my hand. For a status update on Kairi Sane's return to WWE, Dave Meltzer revealed on Wrestling Observer Radio, yeah, maybe November. She's got 2 more dates in Japan I think that she's scheduled for, and she's coming back. As far as that goes, there is something to that because she left because she wanted to return to Japan. When her contract was up, she started working at Stardom, and she was going to be the big international star, and NJPW was going to use her to go to the United States and things like that. But what ended up happening is they signed Mercedes, who ended up getting hurt. They signed Mercedes Moné, who ended up taking that spot. For Kairi, obviously, when Bushiroad took over and bought Stardom, there was a lot of hope about the idea that talent was going to get paid more. They were going to get Io Shirai back, which they almost did, and Kairi, and that was kind of the idea. What happened was that the Bushiroad wrestling side hasn't been nearly as profitable as they wanted to be, so they've gone from a mentality of spending a lot to keeping costs where they were. It ended up with, that's part of a lot of what's going on there. Ringside News would add, it was was noted that Kairi Sane was going to work certain shows for NJPW, but that didn't pan out because they couldn't afford it. Now she is going to take a trip back to WWE. Only time will tell how things turn out this time around, but she will be under Triple H's booking this time. Explaining why Austin Theory and the US title were not on SummerSlam, Triple H said this during the post-show press conference. I think I covered that under the longer event section of the process. When you creatively have enough talent and enough storylines that you could do 2 full days of WrestleMania, when you pull back to one showtime wise, it's very clearly, no matter what show it is, you cannot put everyone on that show. I try to have that conversation with talent all the time. Obviously, if you are talent when the bigger PLEs come around, or what is perceived as the bigger PLEs, that's the show you want to be on. But not everyone can be on that PLE, because when tonight's show, which is now over, 4 weeks from now, we're going to be at Backlash. 5 weeks after that, we're going to be at Fastlane. There's always another big event that you have to have stuff ready to go on. You have things in your pocket, you have them ready to go, and then you see what is positioned best. What's the biggest thing you have for this? The other things you move over along that same, creative points of view. At the same time, you have 5 hours of live TV every week that you gotta fit in as well. 7 if you count NXT. So the amount of content that you're constantly churning and generating based off the PLEs, you have to make strategic decisions. Sometimes those decisions aren't going to make everybody happy. Sometimes people are going to have to take the lemons and make lemonade. It's just what it is. With there only being 2 women's matches on the card for SummerSlam, Triple H addressed the criticism of excluding Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch's match, saying, "My take on that is the same as it's always been. I don't see the difference. I see the women in WWE like I look at the men in WWE. They're talent and it's irrelevant to me if they're male or female. I put the same amount of thought and process and are just looking for the things that are delivering in the moment. When women main event WrestleMania, they were the main event of WrestleMania. We didn't make them anything. If they were the main event, it's because they're the main event, not because, hey, that's pretty good, you guys are women, I think I'll get better press if I put you in the main event. That's cool, right? No, it's not. It's whoever is the most deserving. There's always going to be criticism of what we do. My only thing is, one has patience. There's always another thing around the corner. There was a lot of banter this week about matches being cut. Nothing was cut. There was no card announced, right? If we don't have more things in the pocket that can fit in the PLE, I've done a terrible job, because there's always an injury waiting around the corner. There's always a moment that changes everything. If one creative thing changes, it changes the trajectory of everything. If you don't have more stuff than you need ready to go, you fail. The show was plenty long tonight. If it was anything longer, that would have been bad. So there comes a time when we say, does everything get shorter time? Does everything get rushed? Does everything get hairy? Or do we move things around and shift it and give a bigger spotlight? As a performer, for me, I'd rather have the bigger spotlight. That's how I look at it. After his SummerSlam match against Ricochet, Logan Paul got on a plane to see his brother fight. At the event, Paul would be involved in an altercation with a fan at ringside. Here's the clip. With Damian Priest interfering in the match between Finn Balor and World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins, this would end up costing Finn the bout. The two then stared at each other in disappointment. When the group was making their exit, fan footage shows them walking up the entrance ramp, showing off the cracks in the Judgment Day. Here's the video. When it comes to what is next for Brock Lesnar following his loss to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that he's advertised for Payback, so maybe that's when he comes back. I was told he'll be gone for a while, but not a long while, so we'll have to see what that means. Talk about the moment shared between Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar following their match where they shook hands. Triple H revealed this at the post-show press conference. I know that Cody said he hasn't had time yet to digest the Brock Lesnar moment after their match. Completely unplanned, completely in the moment, and for me, Brock Lesnar is such a unique athlete, but I don't think he gets the credit for being one of the all-time greats at this, right? Unbelievable athlete at the highest of levels, but just talking about sports entertainment, in my opinion, one of the greatest of all time. Triple H would also address those that criticized the booking regarding Cody's loss to Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. Name the amount of people that Brock Lesnar has gotten up after going through a match like that, shook their hand, and pulled them in to hug them before walking out. I know Brock. I work with him all the time. That was a whole ass for me. So when Cody realizes what happened, it's a moment, and if that doesn't tell you where Cody is at, where this journey has taken him, from what many people question at WrestleMania to where he is right now, like that rise just continues to be phenomenal. He delivers at all turns, so it's awesome. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.